Yo, what it do, kinfolk and skinfolk? We bike. For those who are here for your first time, you're not bike, but you're here. Thank you for stopping by. You are not lost. You're in the right place. For those who already are listeners or viewers, welcome bike. This is the Life Be Lifing podcast, hosted by
You.
none other than the lovely, the wise, the sharp. You ain't got no tools in the tool shed this sharp. You feel me? The funny, the insightful, Mimi, the goddess.
Hey guys.
There's no realer than that. You feel me? And she is flanked by none other than your favorite fat freckled man. Your favorite coach's favorite coach. Splash
Yeah.
Charles back in the building, the big dog himself. Oh, you hear me? All right, this episode, we gonna get straight to the topic. We ain't gonna make y'all wait. So everybody got their quote unquote preferences for dating, for love, and these kind of things, right? Things that they would
Here we
like somebody
go.
to possess, things that they would like somebody to have. But let's get a little bit more specific, as opposed to just prefer. Let's get down to the prerequisites. What makes you good enough? Good enough to get that love. You know what I'm saying? What do we think
Yeah.
make people good enough to be dated, to be dateable? Because there's things that's specific to us. You know what I'm saying? Well, how about some things in general? Like, yo, you ain't ready for the field if you ain't got this on your resume. You know what I'm saying?
What do we call them back on the 215 King episode? Standards and expectations.
That's right. That's right. Check out Two
Some
Kings
things is really
215.
real.
Got two of them. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's get into it. So
Let's
we're
do
gonna
it.
start. We're gonna talk about things both tangible and intangible. So let's first start off because you the female here.
Oh
We are
God,
going to
here
talk
we
and
go.
you're into males as you let me know. As evidenced by your marriage to my brother.
Strictly dickly. Yeah.
That being said, so let's go over a few, let me throw a few things out there to see if
Okay.
they fall into the
I'm gonna
list
see if
of,
I'm gonna catch them.
yeah, you know what I mean, see if they fall into the list of qualifications. All
Okay.
right. So starting off with a couple of intangibles. Mentioned on this episode, but perceived strength. How much does that matter to you? Strength
Perceived
both
strength.
perceived, strength both perceived in terms of strength of character and physical. Let's keep it
Um,
a buck.
so personality and mentally, that's a big one for me because I'm all about, you know, living by like a certain code, having a set of standards for yourself, your morals, your principles, like just your everyday, you know, laws to live by, your rules of engagement for life. That's a big deal for me. I don't care if you're physically strong.
Mm,
I don't. I don't.
mm,
Like, how strong are you up here though? Like, do you let people manipulate your mind? Or are you a leader or a follower? Like, that's the type of strength I need to see. Like, are you able to stand on your own on as a man? Like, for shit
mm.
that's just and right? Like, you able to speak your mind and don't let nobody sway you, and like your position is unwavering. That's the type of nigga that has always gotten my attention.
Strength of
You
will.
don't gotta be loud, you know what I'm saying? But that strength of wisdom, that knowledge, that's the type of shit that I've always been attracted to. This is why I tell people you can look at the guys I've dated before I got married, and none of them look the same because I've never had a physical type. Physicality doesn't matter to me. If you look good, you look good. That's great, but you can be strong in the body, but are you strong in the mind?
Mm, mm.
So for me, like that's how you gonna make my list if you got it all together up here and you got good character about you. But I don't care if you in the gym banging 460, benching 350. I mean, that might come in handy if we doing some things, but looks wise, it don't matter to me.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe not looks wise, strength for looks, but strength for like physical capability.
Don't matter. Same difference.
Ooh,
Like I said,
ooh,
you don't
wow.
you don't have to be physically strong. Like I said, I mean, it would be nice if you could pick the girl up, but I'm a thick chick, so I ain't expecting everybody to be lifted 250. I mean, but you know, niggas say, well, they gotta be two something to do something. Don't come to me talk about you want a big girl if you ain't ready for a big girl, you know, because definitely over 200 pounds. But yeah, you don't have to physically be strong. Like, I mean, I don't want you to be no weak nigga. Like, can you push the lawnmower? You can take the trash out. Like, you can change the light bulb and lift the box that's over 50 pounds. Then we good. I don't need you. Yeah. I mean, if you could do it, great. If you are physically strong, cool. But it's not going to disqualify you, is what I'm saying.
So your man don't gotta have hands.
No,
Mm, 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 That's
no,
different. That's different.
no. Because I'm like, and so let me tell you why. And this is probably gonna lead to a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
If you can scrap, cool, you got hands, that's great. Like, that's a bonus, right? I always tell people it should be a bonus. But I'm never gonna put my man in a situation where he gonna have to need to worry about having hands. Like,
Okay.
because I'm a different type of female. Like, so I feel like if you looking for a nigga that can fight, if that's a prerequisite for you, you are kind of a disrespectful ass female on some level. So you're testy, and they might want to take their ass elsewhere. But
Ooh.
if you can fight, that's nice. But then I probably never worried about that because I got hands. So that's the old me though. Like, I used to be like, look, I get it in. My nigga don't gotta fight. But at the same time, I understand how that's a big deal for some people. But I don't want my nigga in the streets fighting because niggas don't fight fair. So that's
That's for
not a
sure.
prerequisite for me. Sorry.
That's for sure. That's for sure. That's for sure. For sure. Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. Let's talk about capabilities in the toolkit. Let's get to some traditional things. Does he have to be handy?
Yes.
Fair. Okay. Does he have to be generally resourceful?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Um. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. So, how honest can he be? Speaking on the
I
thing, how honest can he be?
I would prefer 100% full honesty, super transparency. Let's just be as vulnerable as you can possibly be. I always tell people it's the truth I can stand, the lie I can't take. Like,
Okay.
I can't do that. Like, you lying to me. And I always tell folks, if I ask you a question, please don't lie because I already know the answer. So for me, that's a big deal. Like, I need you to be super honest with me. Because I feel like if you can't, that says a lot about the type of relationship we have and your level of comfortability with me or lack thereof. So I just want somebody that could be 100 with me. Like, I'm a big girl, I can take it. Like, I know how to process it. Will my
To
feelings
every
might be
girl who can't
potentially
take
hurt?
it.
Listen, will my feelings sometimes be hurt about stuff? Maybe. Am I gonna let you know? Okay, that kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. However, it's not one of those things that I'm ever gonna hold against you or throw in your
Okay.
face or make issue for you. That's just not something that I've ever done. And it's like, I always tell people the way I was raised is an advantage for them, but they look at it as a disadvantage. Because my folks was always like, speak your mind, say what you gotta say. You might get slapped in the mouth for it, but go ahead and say what you got to say. So I don't believe in people not being able to openly and honestly express themselves because that leads to a lot of harboring of negative feelings and resentment. And that causes a lot of discontent and discord in relationships, whether it be friendships, dating relationships, or marriage relationships. Family too. I don't believe in doing that. And so
Okay,
be honest with
okay.
me. Like keep it G with me. That's all I ever ask of you. That's my
You can
saying.
be brutally honest if need be.
Uh-huh. Like tell me I look fat in this dress. Don't let me go out the house looking like this. Babe, that ain't it. That ain't it. That hairstyle, no, try something else. Your breath stink. You want some gum? Don't be letting me talk to other people. My breath smell terrible.
Right.
You
Right.
got something in your teeth. You got a booger in your nose. I need all that. Like, I need all that. But I get that that's not for everybody. But I have always been a very open and honest person. Mouthy is more or less what I've been called. But I feel like I could let people be that same way with me. There's no point in me being the only person like that.
Okay. Okay. Does he? Trying to figure out how to phrase this so it don't sound just weird. Does he have to be a person who you could tell has the respect of his peers? Like sometimes, let's just be honest. Sometimes in the peer group, a dude is the big. Like amongst the friends, he's the big. So, uh, does he have to be one of the more respected guys in his peer group, or can he be the big?
So that is a tough one, right? Because I've never thought about it that way, right? I've always thought about it as in terms of you and your friends on an equal level.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, do they have respect for you? Like they not doing no shady, janky shit. Like they not putting you in positions that you know you shouldn't be in, and you don't know how to tell them that ain't for me. That's my thing. Like I need you to be able to tell your friends, like, you know, I'm not really it's the whole leader, not a follower thing. Your friend, sometimes your friends might not really respect you, but you can't be, as you put it, I call it something else. You can't be the bid of the group. So, okay, I guess the answer is yes. You need to be respected by your friends on some level, in some way, shape, or form. And if it's not like an hourly, respect, mutual understanding is shown, at least don't be letting these niggas son you. Like, don't be letting these niggas son you. Like, that's my thing. Listen, don't be no follower.
Right.
People might not ever respect you because sometimes people hate you because they ain't you.
There's that.
Right. So you might not ever really get full respect from them. And that shows in a lot of the shit they're gonna put you in. And I used to always have this issue with your bro, and I'd be like, but I always said, that's your friendships. That wouldn't be me. That's your friendships. But had I had a closer look into his friendships, if I'm gonna be honest, he might have been disqualified. And I'm talking the friends here, not his, like, Penn State family friends. I'm talking his friends here. Had I really known the real behind some of those friendships and relationships, I might have been like this. Deuces, not gonna lie.
And I mentioned that because I think that's something that, like, I saw some stupid ass posts that was like, if your friend is not the lead, if your boyfriend ain't the leader of the group, first of all, there's no leader of the group amongst grown men. Like, we all are supposed to have leadership capabilities, and we have different strengths, and we balance each other out.
There you go. If y'all share
better at this, the guy that's better at that, the guy that's better at that. So that whole shit is
y'all a complete circle. Like your group should be a complete circle. Right. And if y'all sharing one brain, everybody get the brain one day out the week, them ain't the type of niggas I ain't trying to be dealing with the type of niggas. Right. I need you to be able to think for yourself.
And there are some people who are better leaders than others, of course.
But, right. And how are you leading your friends group? Right.
But I think that's something that doesn't get mentioned enough because, like, it gets mentioned amongst men because we laugh We sometimes laugh at girls who sitting there with the
Yeah.
bid of the group. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had
But
your church
why?
pick the bid. Well, it all depends on why he's the bid, right?
That's what I
So
was gonna say. You never know why he the bid of the group though.
it's like, but
Now,
that's what you gotta find out. That's what you gotta find out. You gotta pay
so this is
attention
why
to
I say what
that.
I said. Right. This is why I say what I said. Now, if you the one that's always driving, you the one that's always loaning the money. You the one that's always got your shit together and they ain't got their shit together. Like, I could go on and on about this. Like, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? But if you just like, hey, look, I do my own thing, they do their own thing. We friends, like we come together and we click up and we do the shit that we are mutually, interested in, and we go our separate ways. Like I have my own thing outside of them, and we have things we do together. Cool, but if
Right.
they just calling you because you the ride to the strip club, they know you the one with the money because you got 2 jobs and you taking care of your finances, and nah, bro, that ain't it. that ain't it. Like,
I feel you on that. Yeah. So I think that, like I said, I think that doesn't get considered enough in
yeah,
terms of, because I know for guys we have to consider who the girl is in the group of friends, because that's going to dictate how it goes along for us. Like, is she the hater? Is she the one who
okay,
can't stay in a relationship? Is she the bitter,
okay.
jealous one? Is she the one that's always riling up everybody else to go, lead a man? Like, we have to peep that whole team out for us to have any success. Like, we have to literally see, if we meet a girl amongst our friends, we have to analyze the whole team if we want to have a
Um,
successful relationship. Because even though they always say, show me who your friends and I'll show you who you are, or birds of a feather flock
Better
together,
flock together.
there's definitely some exceptions, and it's
I
definitely
was
on
about to
certain
say.
levels. It's
I was
definitely
about to
on
say.
certain levels. That girl might be the girl in the group that's not a hoe, but she in a group full of hoes. And you know what I'm saying? They got a bunch of other things in common except for the hoeing. Like, you know what I'm saying? They like to
I
party,
was.
they like to drink together, they like to maybe go hit the club, they like to hit the casino, they like to dance, all these things.
Mhm.
This girl is just not the girl giving the cookie out all willy-nilly. But the rest of them is like one night stands, yay! Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
am a firm believer of the birds of a feather don't flock together. Because, and I say that because of my friends group, right? But then I'm also the type that'll say, I'm a leader, not a follower.
Right.
So that doesn't apply to me. But I have seen like in my social circle. Okay, so
And before you
it's
finish, the
different
other
for
thing you
females.
gotta watch out
Mhm.
for is the girl who takes on too much weight of the group, of the social group that she's in. We gotta watch
Now,
out for her, because
see,
we'll never have peace. We'll never have peace because she always gotta run and take care of them.
yeah. And then now you might be talking about me. But because I'm the oldest, I'm always the most responsible one. So that's probably always I'm that person in the friend group. But my friend group has evolved from high school, because I would say that's probably high school to now. It has evolved, and a yeah, a good few remain, and none of my friends are the same. None of them. And one friend that is in my top five, I met her at my second job out of college. My other friend, who's more like my sister, we grew up from the age of 8. Then you have my other friend that I went to high school with, that we still cool. And then you have my other friend that I knew her in middle school because she went to my area middle school. She went to school with people in my neighborhood. And like I said, we'll talk about this when I said person. I'm just kind of well known. So it was just like she knew of me, and through other like camps and stuff that the neighborhood was in. We're still cool. And then met another chick in high school working at the Jewish Community Center. We're still cool. And then yeah, um, it's just like those are my friends. They've been friends. They're pretty much my friends to the end. And only one of my friends I would say is exactly like me. but she's a
Okay.
tourist. Like, and that's the one I've known since middle school through high school. And then my other high school friend, we went to high school and college together. So we just clicked tight. You know, my sister, as I call her, she lives in Louisiana, but we grew up from like kids together. But we're all different. We're all different. Like one of my friends, best friends is white. So people will be like, however, I can't get none of them to be in the same room together though.
Now that's another story altogether.
That's not,
That's
so
another
it's like
story altogether.
they're my friends, but they're not my social circle. So here's where I say you either
Mm.
have girls that are a
Mhm.
social circle, and that's all right, all of them hoes, or they like to go to the club, or you got friends that's your community, that's your tribe. It's meaningful. And I feel like for guys, it's like, man, this man that grew up forever. This is my man's to the death of me. If you look at your men's friend circles, they literally start from like elementary or middle school up through high school. They may pick up a new friend or two in college, but their friends remain the same. I kind of operate like a dude in that aspect of friends. And like, I'll never forget, Art told, when he was overseas, he had told somebody, my wife don't like people. She don't let new people in. Don't expect my wife to welcome you into her world and like you, because that's not how she operates. And they thought it was a joke. It took forever. And I, even out of that, I was just like, oh, yeah, no.
I feel
Now the
that.
outside people I deal with came from him. And I'm like,
I feel
look at
that.
you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the whole social circle thing. I have never judged people as far as a relationship based on their social circle. I just would not deal with their social circle. And I think, like I said earlier, if I had a really got to know the circle, that probably would have been a deterrent, which is why I say I don't like to do that, because you will start to judge that person you're trying to date based off how they move within their social circle. And that really might not even be them. They just might not know how to move in accordance without that social circle or their friends group or whatever you want to call it. So I always try to stay away from that, because I always said I don't believe in a birds of a feather flock together type thing. So
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a big deal.
yeah. And
What
now that
else?
I'm learning, it is a big deal.
It can be. It very much can be. It's something that has to be at least considered and investigated. I feel
Yeah.
that way, that strong way about it. It has to at least be considered and investigated. Even the
Yeah.
people who have the super small circles, pay attention to that, because is the circle small because they are decisively, selective, or is it because they're not necessarily great friends? Like
That
you might
part.
fall in love with this person. They might be good to you, but they might not be a good friend for real. And these other people might have
That
got
part.
and take them in doses.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Oh no, I got a small circle. I keep my. You ain't got no choice, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't got no
That's
choice because people know not to fuck with you.
or when people try to fuck with you because you don't know how to be a good friend, because the friends you got ain't good friends, you don't know how to make new friends with good friends.
Boom. There it is.
And then your back in the gap friends don't help you make good decisions.
Of course not.
But you don't want to go find new friends that are people. Sometimes you got to learn that people don't always align with where you are in life, and you might gotta either dial back how you deal with them or let them go. I think
Actually,
for men, it's harder for men to do that than it is for women.
absolutely.
Or maybe I'm just
Absolutely.
cutthroat. Maybe I'm just cutthroat.
It's definitely harder for men to do. It is.
Yeah.
It is
But
because of the constant loyalty for us.
boom. And that's my thing, because I know it's for me, I'm big on loyalty, which is probably why I can say I have the same friends, and anybody I lost wasn't meant to be with me. They lost themselves along the way. Because we
I
know
think
how
that.
I operate with my friends. So yeah, like even Mackenzie's mom, we have become super close, all off the strength of how I treat her child. And I met her through somebody else that I don't really even talk to like that. because I felt like they weren't a good friend. So it's like you just never know with people. So the friend thing, when I was dating, was not a big deal for me. However, I will say now, if I ever end up single again, that's definitely on the top of my prerequisites list. What's your friends looking like? Oh, you don't really have many friends? Why? How do you
Why?
deal with the people in your life? Oh,
Yeah.
you that okay, because you get used because you're a great person. All right, I can see why you kind of off people. But if you just don't have many friends because oh, you just a dickhead, nah, I'm good on you.
Hmm. Or you have no friends because you're not good at maintaining boundaries, so you choose isolation.
That too. That's a thing. That's definitely a
Um,
thing.
yeah, all that got to be considered.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing that I think we expound on in another episode with a different topic, occupation. Does
Mm.
occupation disqualify a brother for you?
Back in the day, it didn't used to. Um, I don't think it would now, to be honest, because are you making money? Are you doing it illegally? Cool.
Yeah, let's consider it's all legal. Let's consider it's
All
all
legal?
legal business. It's all
No.
legal business.
Listen, this is what I always say, right? Are you passionate about what you do? Do you
No,
enjoy what you do?
no.
Okay,
Let's say that's
no,
the case. Let's say that's
that's
the
the
case because the
case.
answer is no for both of those. That person
Nope,
has a job. They don't have a career. They have a
you
job.
out. You out.
Mm.
Because
Talk about
what's going to happen with that is you're not happy with what you're doing. So you're not happy with your life ultimately. So it 9 times out of 10, and this isn't always, but this is my phrase. If you're not happy with yourself and what you got going on, how can I do anything to make you happy?
mm.
I'm supposed to add to your happiness. I'm not responsible for it. So if you hate getting up and going to work, you
Say
hate
that
your
bar again.
boss.
Say that bar again. For all these people who got shit twisted, who sitting there picking on their partners because and ready to leave their relationships because that person no longer
Stop
makes them happy. Say it
that.
again. Say it loud for the
Stop
room.
that. You are not responsible for my happiness. You are only supposed to add to it and vice versa. I'm not responsible for your happiness. I'm here to add to it. Point
Go.
blank, period, in the third.
There you go.
And people need to stop
I
fucking
hear.
around and finding out that that's how this shit go. Because I'm sure people have lost a lot of good relationships behind feeling like somebody was responsible for making them happy. And I
Yes.
always say, if you're not happy with yourself, ain't shit I can do to make you happy. So no, I don't want no nigga that ain't happy with their job. I don't care if you're a mechanic. Like my father is the master of all trades, right? My father does all things with his hands. Somebody would say, "Oh, that's a meager work." No, it's not. My father got paid big bread before he retired from the government. So you can say what you want. I do not down anybody about their
We're gonna
profession.
save that part of the discussion for another
Okay,
episode we got on that specific
okay,
topic which I sent you.
okay.
Because yes, for sure, people have a misunderstanding about certain occupations and how much money they make. That's a
No, my
tie to it.
father used to be caked up, and my father who freelances now. If he want to do one job, my father can easily make 12K. Let your AC break. Let your furnace go out.
And
Money.
speaking of that occupation, somebody who is, not tied down to one job. They a hustler. They, like you said, with your father, freelancer. They
If it's
they they
legal,
got hands in many bags. It's just all legal.
yeah. If it's legal, I'm good with it. Long as you happy with what you doing. Long as you enjoy what you do. Long as you passionate about what you do. If you just working at the Jiffy Lube changing oil because it's just a job you can get, yeah, nah, we not fit to do that. Like I might see what it is I can do to help you in the pursuit of happiness per se. But if you don't have any motivation to want to do better for yourself, then yeah, that kind of shit is problematic for me because how are we gonna advance and progress? And it's like that doesn't seem logical in the long run for me. So
So let's open up that conversation a little bit more when we talk about that piece, because I hear women say that a lot. Helping you want more, aspirations, motivations, do better. All right, let's talk about the practicality of it, man. It's not
mhm.
easy to leave one job and go get another. It's really not. It's really
It's
not. I'm
not.
in the midst of it myself. I've not gotten yeses in 6 months of trying to leave one job for another. I've not
Right.
gotten a single yes. Um, what from your standpoint, I guess convinces you or makes you believe that that person has aspirations for better? Because like you said, the person's in a job they don't like, they're doing it because they got to pay the bills and they got to sustain their life. And
Mhm.
maybe because it also pays a lot of money too. Maybe it pays more than something that they would be happy about doing. Um, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
the point.
So
That's
like,
the
yeah,
point.
I would love to, work at the rec center as a, director, or as, somebody who comes in and, watches the facility for the day and checks kids in and make sure they're having great time playing basketball. But it's not paying like this 9 to 5. Me personally, I could speak on doing a security job. I didn't love doing security. I never would have
Right.
envisioned doing
I
security.
never thought that was gonna be you.
Never at all. But once I went from it being, a side gig where it's just a couple of dollars, for lunch money and gas, to getting a promotion, and now I'm making hourly there
Double the
more
money,
than
yeah.
my 9 to 5. Like, not only am I doing this security thing, I'm doing this security thing overtime, like literally overtime. I'm
Yeah.
checking out on holidays. Sorry, cut me a piece of turkey and put it aside. Christmas, call me on my break and let me see the kids open the presents or whatever. Like, and it's
You
not a
know what
job
it
I
did?
love. It's not a job I'm passionate about.
But guess what? What was the motivating factor behind that for you?
Money for my family.
And you had a goal, right?
True.
Okay. So I can get with that. You know what I'm saying? If you got a goal and you got a grind, I'm backing all of that. Because remember, Toro used to work 2 jobs.
We used to always joke about him in college about working like a Jamaican.
And if I feel like
If he only had one job, it's because he's on his way to get another one.
boom, and I feel like that's him to this day still, right? And if it wasn't like, hey, we like 2 ships passing in the night at this point, and this ain't what I signed up for, he probably would still be working 2 jobs, right? So if you got a job that you don't necessarily love or like, and you grinding for a goal, that's cool. I can support that. And for me, it's really all about your ambition, right? And both of my brothers, I will say this. It's funny because it's like I always say, yeah, they don't make females like me no more. But both of my sister-in-laws, so my brother is into motorcycles, dirt bikes, 4 wheelers. My brother can break shit down blindfold to put it back together. Like that, his ADHD mind, like he's smart. My brother has taught us how to play the drums, all kind of shit. My brother can do just about anything. My other brother, same way, but he loves tennis, right? And they refuse to get regular jobs because they like, I want to do what I love doing. But it's not necessarily making bread like it should because they freelancing, right? But they're passionate about what they do, and their girls support the shit out of them. Like it's all about having that conversation. All right, what you willing to do? So my little brother, tennis, right? He wants to basically be a director at the tennis center here. Kind of something like what you said you want to do, just on a tennis aspect, not basketball.
Right.
So he waiting for the tennis foundation to offer him this bomb position. He's created a program. So she was like, why can't you do this program on your own? You can go take a couple of the different tennis positions and just do this on your own. They have their own like tennis program that they run on the weekends. They found the resources to do it with nothing out their pocket. She does all of the posting and takes the payments. Like she makes sure they got all the equipment while he working these 2 other jobs, and she's making 6 figures working for Amazon.
Mm.
But they make it work because it's like, I know what you looking to do. I know what you trying to do. If you put in the work, I'm gonna help you get there. It might be meager money now, but if it means you happy, like she literally said to me, I could go make Leon get a regular job. I could go tell him you need to go get a job that brings in more money, but then he's going to be miserable and he's going to hate me.
Mm.
And she ain't lying. She ain't lying. Same thing with my brother. You know, I can't tell Nado what to do. Like, it's just not gonna work. He's just gonna make my life hell if I do that. You're right. And so it's like with that, it's like you have to figure out what your capacity is to deal with something like that. And if you got it in you, and if not, then you move along. And it does take a very strong female to date someone like that and know that you really got to be in this for the long haul, because that's not going to be instant money. It's not going to be top dollar. It's not going to be big bank from jump. Y'all might be 40 before something hit. Like I'm talking to my brother the other day, nigga, you don't have a business. You have an EIN. You got to do the rest of the work. Oh, I'm thinking, so who helping you get this information? Like finding the resources. And I
Right.
feel like a lot of people just don't want to put the work into that kind of shit. Like, no, I'm not trying to be over here building, nigga. I ain't trying to be that female. But I do feel like a lot of men fall short in life because they don't have anybody that helps them fall through on things. Like they just gonna let them fall through the cracks. But no, like sometimes you just gonna have to fall through the process of doing this. You're gonna have to fall through the process of working jobs you don't like. You're gonna have to fall through the process of working a couple of jobs at one time. But we together can make it work.
Okay. Okay. I dig that. I dig that. Because yeah, like I said, I don't want to get too much into it, but that little conversation between Ayanla and Ebony K. Williams,
Oh
um,
God.
where she asked her, during
About
the
the bus
conversation
driver.
about the bus driver thing, and where she was like, Ebony was like, if he owned the bus, which spoke in her mind, which spoke to ambition. So that's why when you said that, I wanted to get further into that, because allegedly, from her perspective, it's about the ambition of a person. Whereas in Ayanla's answer was she would date a bus driver, and what you said, if he loved driving the bus, if he got up every day, every morning with a purpose, knowing that part of that purpose was driving the
Yeah.
bus. So I was kind of, I guess, and then seeing the ensuing conversation behind that. And like I said, we're going to do an episode kind of getting into that more specifically and the things that surrounded that conversation. But just the immediate comments, it was very divisive. That conversation ended up being very divisive because the comments kind of seemed as though ambition is over here and, doing a job that doesn't necessarily seem ambitious, but you love it, is over here. Like they seem
Yeah.
diametrically opposed. And that's why I had to kind of bring that up in these requirements. Like, can it be both? Like, can it be, you know what I'm saying? Can it be a job that doesn't necessarily say I'm ambitious, but like which one? I guess I was trying to figure out which one stands out more, which one maybe women are more comfortable with. I feel like I gotta find a way to do a poll and get more
It
women's
depends.
answers.
It depends on the woman
Like you said,
because
yeah, I think like what you said is key about what you built for.
yep,
Because
I think it depends on the woman.
I think there's plenty of women who, on the other side of things, would actually be more comfortable with that man working that job he don't like because it's going to bring
Yeah,
in the money.
yeah.
It's going
And
to bring
it's
in the
all
money.
about what she wants,
And
right?
he signed on for that. But see, that it's not even, that's what'll be the conversation. It won't be, oh, it's all about money. Hey, I didn't tell you to work that job because that's what's going to happen. I didn't tell you to work that job. I didn't tell you to stay at that job. You chose to stay at that job. You signed on for that. And I'm just
Yeah.
riding with what you signed on for.
Yep. That's why that's why I respect my sister-in-law, because she definitely had a conversation with him. She was like, look, you don't like the job, quit. We can figure it out. If you want to keep doing tennis, how you want to do it? We can figure it out. And it's all about like some female, like Ebony K. Williams strikes me as a very materialistic, want to be kept as female. And that's fine if that's what you want to be. But I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't get taken care of, because that's a lie, right? But I
Right.
also could take care of shit if I got to. Like I
Right.
want to be able to pick up the slack wherever my spouse lacks. And I feel like that's the balance in a good relationship. So that's what you need to figure out when you're trying to date somebody. Like, if you fall short, you gonna let me fall through for you or not? Like, how does that look for you? Like,
How does that
how
work?
are we spending money? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you
True.
looking to live a certain kind of lifestyle? Because I mean, I grew up kind of spoiled, so it's like I've always been having, right?
Right.
But is that something you willing to continue to do? Are you gonna be mad if I could do it for myself if that's not something you into? Like, it already goes back to the prerequisites are set when you have a conversation offset. Like, you gotta have these
Mm,
conversations all jump with people. Like, and that's
yeah,
the biggest problem. We had this conversation before. A lot of people will be disqualified from gay if they have real conversations.
that's a
Uh,
fact.
they
That's a
would,
fact.
like, they would, like, and
You can
although,
say
things do
a
change
lot
over
of times.
time,
Right, right.
you literally took the words out of my mouth. Things change over time, but you can save yourself a lot of time if you just take the time to figure some shit out up front. Like, and make your life so much easier. I promise you.
Yes, indeed.
But
Yes,
then
indeed.
that
Yeah,
also requires said person to be honest with you, which is why I said I need honesty and transparency. Because sometimes people tell you what you want to fucking hear
that's a fact.
because they know that's how that's gonna rope you in. So, it's all a game to be played in this love and relationship shit. So you just better know how you like to play the game. Like, you playing tunk, you playing Uno, you play spades, you better figure out how to be your best because sometimes niggas they cutting cards and reneging and talking across the table. So
That's a
I'm
motherfucking
trying to tell
truth.
you,
That's
yeah.
the truth. Can't lie about it. That is the truth.
Yeah.
Um, what else did I have on here? Okay, so what about actual intelligence? And I don't mean, when I mean intelligence, I mean literally, this person is smart. I don't mean a person who went to school and learned a bunch of stuff and retains it and can spit it back to you. I'm talking about an actual intelligent person because I feel like that's not a requirement. That's across the board.
Right.
I feel like a lot of times people are more impressed with somebody whose perceived intelligence seems more tangible. The person with the multiple degrees, the person, who went to this
Mhm.
school, the person who had the high GPA versus a person who might have never stepped foot at a university, but they know shit. You feel me? And it's not like they just think it, they know it. They can break it down to you. They can give out the game. They can think outside of the box. They can even challenge your way of thinking from things that you feel like that are facts,
Yeah.
and they can show you, more things. So yeah, what about that as a prerequisite? Which version of intelligence do you need? Um, what's your idea of intelligence that you need as a requirement
Hey,
that makes
listen,
that person good enough?
I don't deal with smart dummies. I ain't got time for that. Like, you can be good on paper, but that's about it. People be laughing at me because that's what I call folks like that.
No,
Like,
because it's true. It's true.
it's very true. It's very true. Like, so you take someone like me who, in the world of today, they would be like, you're well educated, you have intelligence, but you're also wise and you're street smart, and you call me a researcher. I always
Mhm.
tell people I like to know a little about a lot, right? And then
Right.
I also like to educate myself because when I'm talking, I don't like to be dumb on a topic. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I don't care how many degrees you got. I don't care what the fuck your GPA was. I don't care if you can run numbers off the top of your head like Rain Man. If you don't have everyday actual intelligence, you can't apply regular scenarios across the board to figure some shit out and get through life in an intelligible way. Like, if you into something, yeah, break it down to me, explain it to me, teach me why you into something. Like, that's the kind of shit I love about a nigga. Like, ooh, you really into this. Like, you can tell me if you bowl, why the velocity of the ball gotta spin this way to hit the. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you not just regurgitating information that someone had told you need to learn. Like, I don't really like smart dummies. I want what you described. Like, your actual intelligence, your everyday intellect. You can really think some things through. You have wisdom. You are really able to hold a real conversation with someone and process things and break them down. Someone that thinks ahead of me, because I think I'm smart. I really think I'm smart. But then I have a conversation and I'm like, damn, I didn't even think about it like that. That's the kind of nigga I like. Like,
Okay,
make it
so
make
wait,
sense for me.
let me jump in there. So let me ask this question now that you mentioned that. When you speak about that intelligence, does he have to have more of it than you do?
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay. Okay.
nope. He don't gotta be smarter than me.
Okay. So if you're the smarter one, you cool with it.
I'm cool with it, but you can't be dumb. But
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
to be
yeah.
smarter
You're
than
not
me.
talking about no. You're not talking about no dummy at this point. I'm going with what you define.
Yeah, and when I say you don't have to be smarter than me, and that really can mean you don't have to be smarter than me in everything, because we all know someone is always going to trump you in certain areas of intelligence or smarts or wits. You know what I'm saying? So we always call me the unicorn. I'm aware that I'm rare. I'm built different. That's But for just the everyday female, like, I think she would say, "Oh, my man got to be smarter than me." Why would you want your man to be smarter than you? Why? So you just the dummy in the group? Like, why we can't be equally smart? Why you might not be as smart in one area and I might be smarter in another area, and we could just come together and be smart across the
And
board
that,
together?
and that's why I had to ask that question, because it seems as though when I hear women say things like a man has to, have more money or be smarter than her, it's because of what they want to gain. It's
And,
literally like you got to bring the excess for what I don't have. It's
yep.
not even so much us balancing each other out. It's I need what I don't
No,
have. I need you to bring me what I don't have.
no, that's whack to me. Like, if you lacking, maybe you should go pick it up. Because what you gonna do if like, so here's the thing. We know in relationships, a person can be out the door any given minute.
That's a
So
fact.
why it kind of goes back to the happiness thing. You're not responsible for what you're supposed to add to it. You're
Right.
not responsible for my intelligence or what I know or what I don't know. Now, if you want to teach me, that's cool. But it's not, I'm not going to say, well, I don't know nothing about this. So it's your job to bring me the information on that and teach me about this. No, not at all. Mm-mm, nope. And if you want to educate me on some shit, I'm gonna listen. Because again, I
Because
like
I'm
to.
always hearing that. Because I'm always hearing that. I want a man who could teach me something. I want a man who could teach me something. I want a man who could teach me
But
something.
but bitch, you gotta be willing to learn. You gotta shut up and sit down and be quiet.
Well, there is that. There is that. But
What you want him to teach you?
see, that's the thing. They make that statement based on the I don't want to use too big a word, but based on the assumption
Use
that they'll
it.
be willing to learn.
Because these people need a vocabulary lesson anyway. That's what they need to be learning.
Because I didn't want to say, presumption or assumption. I didn't want to say presupposition. That seems like it's going out.
Get it, SAT word. Sorry, I'm a nerd.
But definitely like the presumption or the assumption that they'll be this willing participant in the learning process. Um,
I just saw something the other day, right? Where this
mhm.
dude was talking about um he was responding to someone saying that women be talking about, oh, we don't want no nerd, da, 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 and the guy was like, but what it really is they say they don't want ugly niggas, right? And he was like, that's the thing, nerds aren't ugly, we're just dirty. And I was just like, yeah, nigga, I want a nerd. Like, I'm not mad at the nerd. He was like, just because I watch anime, he was like, that does not make me a nerd. He was like, I am the most funniest, goodest, smartest, and just because I watch anime, he said, I might be sitting here in a goddamn Goku outfit, but I'm not a goddamn nerd and I'm far from fucking ugly. So it's like, I think what has happened is women have started to categorize men
Absolutely.
wrongfully. And y'all don't know what's what. Like, and y'all just
Absolutely.
going off what somebody else is saying is a certain type of nigga, when you really should get to know a nigga, because yeah, that they might be able to teach you something, but you think you know so goddamn much. You think you
And I
know everything.
and that's why I had to ask you about smarter, because it's like you said, what he has to teach may not be conventional. You know what I'm saying? What he's an
Yeah,
expert in or what he's more knowledgeable in may not be conventional to you. It may just open your eyes to a different side, different, side of life. Maybe because he's such a geek and such into anime, he's actually studied things about Japan.
yeah,
Maybe he can speak actual Japanese.
yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
why
Are
is
you
that a
willing to
problem
learn
for
Japanese
females?
now? Are you willing to learn how to eat with chopsticks now? Are you willing to learn the difference between a robe and a kimono now? Like,
And I
you
really
know,
feel like that has everything to do with you being comfortable knowing that someone has information or knowledge or intelligence on something you don't know nothing about.
but it's about what they value. It's not just about what they don't know about. It's about
Listen,
what they, you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't
Like,
value a lot of shit.
there are women who, like I'll give my wife credit in that, yeah, my wife kind of like comic books or superheroes and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but she wasn't going to no store and buying them, going to no conventions and stuff like that. None of that. But she sat there and listened to me break down character arcs and, you know, uh,
Mhm.
things that go into the movies, why they look the way they do, and the differences between the movies and the comics, or all these sort of things. And it's like that doesn't do anything for her. It's not
But
helping
you know
her
what?
advance life. It's just giving her something that she didn't know. It's giving her knowledge that she didn't possess. It's contextualizing things that she sees and giving a background to it. So it's like, oh, okay. So the next time she watches this movie, she has a better frame of reference for why this went that way. Now she can spot Easter eggs on her own because she has these previous knowledge. So now when that happens in a movie and everybody who doesn't know is just sitting in a movie, she knows why the nerds are sitting there roaring with this
Yep.
reaction,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? Or laughing at this specific reference.
And that's my thing. It doesn't have to be something that you are necessarily into. If your significant other is into it, you do yourself a disservice by not understanding or learning or showing some slight interest in something they're interested in. I had never gone fishing a day in my damn life. Okay, Art, you like to fish. Okay, I'll go out with y'all one time. I'll bait my own hook. I will cast my own line. I will reel my own fishing. Not taking it off the line. Though. You got it. And he just knew that it was this ain't gonna work. She's not. She's gonna be over this shit in 2 hours. Yeah, I have gone on so many charters with them. Like I tell them, we just got to be back in 8 hours because I can't pee off the side of the boat like y'all can. Sorry. So if there's no bathroom on the boat, we got to go back home. So it's like, can I say I love fishing? No.
Right.
Is it cool? Do I enjoy it sometimes because it's calming? Sure, but I know that's one of his happy places. We bowl together. Like that was something we've always had in common. I've always bowled, but
Right.
it does yourself a disservice if you don't learn what your spouse likes. You don't gotta like it, but you need to learn about what they like
But
because
see,
it
even
shows
before they
them
become your spouse, like you were saying earlier,
even before
once
you
you're
should
in the
learn.
purpose of sorting this person out and trying to decide whether or not you want to get into this serious relationship with them, like you said, taking that time to find out these things about these people, their strengths, the things that they know more about than you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and granted, there's some stuff you're just not going to rock with, but
Yep.
that's what helps you make the decision. And as I said earlier, maybe save y'all both some time. It's not saying that
Right.
they're a bad person. It's not saying you're a bad person for not being into that. But now that person doesn't have to feel shackled because they feel like they can't talk to you about it because you're going to fall asleep, you're going to ignore it, whatever, what have you.
Right.
Um, so that's why I had to throw that out there. And something else I have to throw out there is there's a prerequisite. Um, the what about sense of humor? What about sense of humor?
Love me a funny ass, silly ass nigga. I'm
Right, because
sorry, because
there's
I'm
levels of
silly as
sense of humor.
hell.
Because there's levels of sense of humor, right? So that's why I had to just throw out sense of humor because
Yes.
funny, nobody really says they don't like a funny person,
No.
except for jealous and insecure people because they're too worried that funny people will be funny with everyone else. And then they
Right.
don't like everybody laughing. Well, he's not that fucking funny. He's not that funny. Why are you laughing so hard?
Because the whole time people always say I'm funny. And I'm like, but the shit I'm saying, I'm not saying it as a joke. It just be the way I say shit, right? But that's why I
And it
say
be the
like
reality that they're not used to. Like that's
it,
your type of funny. You be
that's
saying
my
shit that
type
people
of
be
funny.
like, damn, did she really just say that? Oh my God. And it's
Yeah,
hilarious because it's an idea that they wasn't introduced to, or maybe something they
exactly.
thought about, but didn't think that somebody really stood on it. So it's like,
Hmm.
oh shit.
So yeah, that's
But
why I get the levels of sense of humor, and I love it. Like you could be a comedian, you can have dry humor, you can have witty humor. Like I want all of it. Like because you're being yourself. Like I feel like anybody that don't know how to crack a joke or like be loose and enjoy themselves and funny joke, ha ha, rib, Joan, whatever. Somebody did something to you as a kid. I don't know what it was, but you need to go figure that shit out because nobody should ever be that serious all the time in life.
that's a
Like
fact.
and some of the I know people where you would think that they don't have a fucking funny bone in their body, but you get them alone or with the right crowd or fucking comedian times 10. Funny,
That's a
ha
fact.
ha. Like,
That's
yeah,
kind of how my
jokester.
wife
You
is.
just gotta bring it out. Right.
How my
So
wife is.
yeah, I
But
would definitely love somebody that's funny or has a sense of humor because I mean, being able to laugh with someone you dating or you with or whatever, that like there's no better feeling just for y'all to be able to joke
I
about shit.
have to agree. I have to agree. All right, so I'll run things back in backwards order
I'm
for
gonna
my
do it. I'm gonna do it.
uh
I'm gonna do it.
all right.
So for you, as far and it's kind of hard because we married, but looks, because we had this conversation before, but looks, what determines or attracts you looks wise? Has that been a thing for you? Is it a thing? Do you have a type?
Okay.
Did you
No, I
have a
don't
type?
I don't have a physical type for real, but I do have preferences. Some gotta poke out. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all y'all who straight up and down built. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry for
Box build
y'all.
ass.
I'm sorry for y'all, but it gotta be some T or some A. I definitely prefer both, but it
You
gotta
prefer
be some
both?
T
Okay.
or some A. If it could only be one, let's have the backyard. You know what I'm saying? Let's have the
Okay. Okay.
backyard. Um,
Okay.
outside of that, no, like I mean, I always end up with shorter girls. I think I've only dated two tall girls, but again, that's by circumstance because women have their requirements, not because it's like,
Right.
oh, well, I'm not dating no girl Candace Parker height. Man, what if I was single and Candace Parker gave me burn? I'd be with Candace Parker. Like, it's just that.
Wearing black shoes with white socks like a serial killer. But
I
never
think
know.
she fine. So there, that's not my issue. You know,
Right.
Liz Campbell,
Right.
she might be a terrible person, but she a fine woman to me. Um,
That's
so
a
like,
conversation for another day.
yeah, it is. But you know what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing. So no, I don't have a specific physical type. Like you just gotta be attracted to me.
Okay. 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 So, as far as friends, what would deter you from dating a female because of her friends?
So what almost deterred me, because I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Sorry,
What
I forgot you had a story. That wasn't on purpose.
I mentioned it before, but what almost deterred me was one of her best friends at the time.
Mm.
She's just too fucking involved. That's what would deter me almost more than anything. If I realize that your friends, that you don't have that boundary with your friend to where she knows she can't step over that line, I'm out. I'm out. I'm gonna withdraw. Because the last thing I need, we are gonna have our problems because that's what happens
Right.
in relationships. The last thing I need is to end up thinking I'm getting double teamed because she's coming to back you up in some business that ain't hers. Or even worse, we're good. She's not good with her situation. So now she comes over to taint ours
Right.
because misery
Okay.
loves company and you don't have the boundaries set. So now she comes and disrespects me. And now you want me to let that slide.
Oh yeah,
You don't want me
that's
talking to her like I would another woman who disrespect me.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So fortunately, there was enough boundaries there, but at first it looked really bad. When I'm sitting
Mm,
here, when I'm trying to tell you, hey, let me get your number, and Shorty says our number is, and that's not even your roommate. I'm like, oh, come on. Like I was like, I played it in the
right.
moment and laughed, but on the way back to
You
my
said
dorm, I was
that.
like, oh,
You said
come
that
on.
wasn't even funny.
They can't, please don't let this be one of these. Please don't let her be one of these, man. Because if I can't hit y'all both, then I'm not dealing with y'all both. It's that simple. It's that
Tag
simple.
team back again.
Feel me? Unless you telling me that y'all finna share, that I get to share everything that got to do with both of y'all.
Then we ain't
If
finna
I'm
do
not getting
this.
double the coochie, I'm not taking double the stress. It's just not happening.
Yeah, ain't nobody ever finna sign up for that on purpose anyway. So
It's
yeah,
just not
no.
happening. No, no, no.
So would you say that means your whoever you're dating, this the prerequisite is they need to be the leader in the friend circle?
No, they don't have to be the leader either, because dominant personalities trump things up. Like I've dated women who don't have the most dominant personality. So it's not so much that they go along to get along, it's that they rock with that person, they trust with that person, they trust that person because they're so laid back. And in the cut, they'll let that person guide the direction. But they will pull out from that situation if they
Mm,
feel like it just doesn't serve them at all. They'll
right.
withdraw. You could tell that
Okay.
they ain't really with the plan. Like even if they there, like let's say something simple as going to a party. I don't really want to go to this party, but I'm gonna go with y'all. But I'm gonna be in the back. You gonna tell while y'all on the floor doing y'all thing. I'm gonna be here at the
Yeah,
bar, or I'm gonna be here.
I'm gonna be making sure everybody's straight.
There we go. Right. I'm checking to make sure the perimeter is cool. And, I'm going to make sure everybody get home safe. But I didn't plan this. I didn't pick this out. I didn't call this play. I'm just going to make sure the play goes the way it's supposed to. So, yeah, she ain't got to be the ace, but she got to have her own mind. And she got to be able to know when it's like, all right, I can't do it.
Okay. All right. So as far as we talked about the whole hobbies and stuff,
Right.
would you prefer to be dating a female who kind of into the same hobbies as you, has her own hobbies, or maybe she's really not a hobby lobby type chick? Like, how does that look for you?
That's a good question. So to be perfectly honest, I think initially I wanted somebody who had my hobbies. Like, maybe I didn't have a type physically, but as far as girls that could play ball, yes, please. Like, let you be cute and can hit a jump shot. Oh my God, you a prospect. You
So
done caught
definitely
my.
athleticism is a thing for you, you would say.
It's not even just athleticism. It's because I have such this love and passion for basketball specifically, more than any other sport. Seeing a girl who can hoop, yeah, because now I don't have to, in my mind, I don't have to explain, hey, I'm gonna go get some runs in, and
Right,
worry about her finding something to do. She mess around and come and watch. Or, if she nice like that, she's like, well, why you ain't invite me? Like, you know what I'm
right.
saying? We,
So
we
you
could go
definitely
ahead and
don't.
ones. We could, what I mean? We could go
eh,
shoot, play horse or play pig or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that I felt like that would make things easier,
Right,
but it's not necessary. Like, would I
right.
prefer that? Yes, but it's not necessary. It's cool if she has her own hobbies. It's
Okay,
perfectly fine. What I need is a girl with hobbies. You have
okay, okay.
to have hobbies because you can't be all in my shit all of the time. If you don't,
So,
if you don't rock with it, it's one thing if you
right.
rock with it. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
I'm going to see all these Marvel movies, and you cool coming because you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna have a good time. We gonna have a good time together. But it's not because you love Marvel or you love
Right.
superheroes. That's cool. But if you and me don't align on hobbies and you have no hobbies, you're gonna get in the
That's
way of my
problematic. That's definitely
I already
problematic.
know you're gonna get in the way of my shit at some point. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because now when I'm indulging in these things that you don't choose to join in on, you feel excluded and you want me to do them less.
right. So, All right. So do you have, does your girl have to be like her hobby? Do you have specific hobbies? Like you would like her to be physically fit in the gym? Like if she don't
I
hoop, you
mean,
want her.
I'm fat now, so physically fit wasn't necessarily or always my requirement. You know what I'm saying? Even back when I was in better shape, when I was in hoop shape, that wasn't like, no, like,
That
yeah, I
wasn't
mean,
a thing.
I kind of like thick joints too. So yeah, you could go ahead and have some pounds on you. I don't
Yeah.
really care about that. Don't be at the point where you 1 foot in the grave, because that's just the drag.
So that's kind of what I was getting at. Like, does she need to be healthy, health conscious? Like,
It's you have to do what's right for you. That's my thing, because it's completely hypocritical of me knowing the way, even when my metabolism was working, knowing the way I ate, knowing the way I didn't get proper sleep, knowing I was doing all these things and requiring another human being to do the same just to be with me. I think is ridiculous. It's just that you have to be able to like sustain whatever you got going on. So if you're a girl that like to eat a lot, cool. But don't be the girl who likes to eat a lot and then we got to go to the hospital because you didn't measure your diabetes properly. You feel me? Like you don't work out, but now you keep having cramps in your leg every night.
right,
Like you can't be that. It has to be some kind of self accountability, and it has to be, you have to show that you take care of yourself to some extent, to where it's not all on me.
right,
That's
right.
that's really all I require. I mean, maybe that sounds like low, you know what I mean,
Low
low,
hanging fruit, but whatever.
but I just think I don't think it's a lot to ask.
No, which leads me to the next question. Do you want or need someone that can cook?
Me
Because I know that's a
personally,
big deal for a
yes.
lot of women.
Me
Okay.
personally, yes. I can cook. I'm good. My mom trained me when I was young, but I do not want to be the one only doing the cooking. I don't want to always be the one doing the cooking, and
Mhm.
I enjoy somebody making meals for me. I
I
love it.
find that that's a lot of guys.
Don't
Like,
let my birthday, Father's Day, um, big holidays come by and I never get a meal from this woman I'm with. We ain't gonna be
yeah,
together. I ain't gonna lie to you. Call it
okay.
petty if you want to.
That's a
I'm
prerequisite. You got to cook.
requisite for me. You gotta be able to cook. Even if I do most of the cooking, I can live with that. But
Okay.
you gotta be in there. You gotta get it done.
Okay. All right. So you want a working woman or a kept woman?
So so my thing is this, right? I'm I'm kind of I'm kind of on the fence with it just because I don't really understand. I don't really understand and I sound like one of the other podcasts, the modern kept woman these days. I don't really understand it. Like back in the
Write that
day,
down. Modern kept woman. What's that mean for
because
you?
traditional, so as opposed to the traditional kept woman, was the homemaker. She was cool with maintaining everything you got at home. I'm gonna say somebody like, who's a good example? I'm gonna say an example like Michael Jordan ex-wife, Barbara, right?
Mhm.
I think that's her name. Might not be. His ex-wife,
I think it's her name.
he was a kept woman, right? He had enough money for her to get whatever she needed done, but she made sure the kids went to the right schools. She made sure they was taken care of. She made sure they was well mannered, um, well cultured in these kind of things.
Yep.
Now, granted, she could have
She
hired a
took care
nanny
of
to do all
household, family, all that.
right. She could have hired a nanny to do all these things. She could have, did all that, like, pay and just sit there in the laps of luxury and not really have to worry about anything. She could have had a chef come and cook the food for these
She
kids.
she
You know
could
what
have
I'm
been
saying?
a real kept woman.
And see, that's why I mean by the modern kept woman, because when I hear women these days talk about kept women, it means they don't do shit. They just they are complete women of leisure. They do nothing but spend your money. They are not.
I mean,
They are not. They're
I
not
feel
having
like that's
they're not having your back is in, okay, well, they put their money to the side, so if your joint ever hit, if you ever get stalled out, they got you. No, they're just sitting there doing nothing but enjoying life on your dime. They
right.
got nannies raising your kids.
Yep.
They got
That to
chefs
me,
cooking
that's a
your.
kept woman.
So me, no. No, I don't want a kept woman. I'm cool being a provider. I'm cool because I did it for my wife initially. Being the sole check.
Right.
If I have the money to be the sole check and you be home, good. I'm good with that. You don't have to bring no, almost spill my water. You don't have to bring no income in if I could afford it.
Right.
But you have to be the house
That's
maker.
definitely that conversation thing we were talking about.
You have to
Having
be
this
the
conversation
home.
about how that look. Yep.
If I'm sitting out here grinding, staying out to do whatever I got to do to get us this money so that you can go on a trip whenever you want, so that you could buy whatever you want, live wherever you want, look however you want, then I need our children to be taken care of by you.
See, to me,
I
there's a
need,
big difference.
I need you. I shouldn't be doing most of the cooking in that sense. In that situation, I shouldn't be doing most of the cooking. Am I still going to
Hell
cook?
nah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm still going to cook. No matter what my money is like, I'm still going to be the one to cook when I feel like cooking, especially if I want certain meals. Like, yeah, I got no problem with it. I got no problem with
Yeah.
handing off on those things. I got no problem with taking the kids to soccer practice, to going to the graduations, going to the violin orchestra or whatever. I got no problems attending all that, taking the kids to that. No
Right.
problem at all. Teaching them how to box, teaching them all these sort of things.
Being super dad.
I'm saying I got no problem with that. I enjoy that interaction with my kids. If you need to go upstairs and go lay down, leave the kids downstairs with me. I'll take the kids out or something like that. I got no problem with none of that. But when I say I need you to be taking care of the home and the kids, it means you're home. All that shit should be set up. Truth be told, and this might come out as offensive to whatever woman hears it, I don't care. Truth be told, after a while, it's not the same task. Being a stay-at-home mom is not going to get harder as the kids get older. Cut the bullshit. When they are small and they depend on a parent and adult for everything, I get it. I get it. That literally is a job in of itself, being at home with infants, toddlers, kindergarten age kids. My 6-year-old is work. I get it. Once they hit like 10, cut it the fuck out, man. Cut it the fuck out.
You're definitely going to get some flack about that one. Because
at that point, and I'm cool with that. But at that point, we should have a system running.
So that's what I was going to say. Unless there's some systems in place, they will tell you like, oh, again, it's not as easy as you think it is.
But it's not about it being easy. That's the thing. I've never said any of that was easy. It's not about it being easy. Me going to work, getting all this money is not easy. Mm-hmm. It's about it being simple. The difference between easy and simple, easy means anybody can do it. Simple means it's not complicated. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Like I got a kettlebell nearby. Picking this up is simple. I just grab it, I pick my arms up. But if it's after a certain weight, it's not easy to do. Right. It's going to take.
If you're doing a certain movement with it, it's not easy.
You feel me?
It depends on what the movements
make it not simple. So no, just taking it up and down. If it's from a 10 to 50, it goes from being easy to not easy, but it's simple because I'm still doing the same mechanic of reaching down.
And that's what I'm saying. But when you change the mechanics of it,
but once you change the mechanics of it, it's no longer simple.
And that's what a woman will argue. The mechanics of it changes because this kid could be doing soccer and this kid could be doing football. And like, there's a whole bunch that goes into this, right? And I'm just like, I mean, some validity to the argument on both sides. And I think it's really a matter of what the set situation is, right? How many kids you're dealing with, what's the agreements? We talked about those agreements. So,
and that's
why I asked.
It's about what you sign on for.
And the funny shit is,
if you signed on for me to be the sole provider, like I'm telling you what you signing on for to get that. So if you're not with that, you can't get there.
But again, what did we say earlier? A lot of this has to be conversations that's had in advance that people don't have in advance. Because I can say, I can specifically point one person out who their spouse think they kept, but they weren't. Like, but they don't do, like, the husband does almost everything. Like, and it's always a, well, I can't because so you working, but you're not taking care of home, but you getting everything provided for you that you need, but you don't help the husband do what, I'm not really understanding that, but it all goes back to, so what was the discussion had about this? Oh, there was no discussion had? Well, that sounds like that's a you problem. That sounds like that's your fault. But
Right. And
yeah, that's why I asked.
while certain adjustments and amendments can be made, don't try to change and play a game in the ninth inning. We're not doing that. Don't think you can
That's
just
big.
upheaval. You know what I'm saying? Now that the
That's
kids is
big.
older, yeah, now I gotta Uber them to practice when I don't take them because you know, they older now. So
No.
now you just want to sit here and be, you know, living a
Mm-mm.
life of luxury to where you don't have to do
Nope.
nothing.
Nope.
So that's why I
Nope.
said what was considered kept before doesn't seem what's kept
It's
now.
different. Yeah.
So
It's
traditional
definitely
kept
different.
homemaker, that's for me. Current kept, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Because at that point
Yeah.
in time, honestly, what do you do for me?
Right.
Why, outside of looks and outside of cooch, what are you doing to really make things
Yeah.
work? Because honestly, I don't even feel like we relate at that point. Because again, no matter who I'm with, no matter what career I have, I'm always going to be involved with my kids.
Right.
So if I work and I make time to be involved with my kids, but you don't, and you're not involved with the kids the same way, how do we even relate?
You'd be surprised again about the conversations not being had about this up front. And this is why I framed the question the way that I did, because literally guys be thinking they want a kept female, meaning
Right.
they're
I be
gonna be
telling
at
them,
home taking care of kids, cooking and cleaning, but then they like, but I don't want to be the one to bring in all the money. So it sound like y'all both need to be equally responsible for shit. Y'all can throw these gender roles out the window, right? And we know this is a whole nother podcast topic, so I won't go too deep. But my famous phrase is, you niggas want a 1920s bitch doing 2020s shit. No, it does not work like that
and
unless
it's
we
the
have an
same on the other
agreement.
side of the table. They
And
want
that's what I say.
1920s man, but they want to be 2020 females.
Yeah,
Like,
yep, yep. Nope. And it doesn't
you,
work like that. That's why I think these gender roles need to be thrown out the
yeah,
window. Like you could take the kids to soccer or baseball, basketball. You could go to, Jax's fucking dance recital. Like, we gonna do all this. Like, you can clean up. Let me show you how I make this chicken. Because when I'm not feeling well, you need to be able to do it. Like, I think that's the thing. And I feel like this goes back to the other topic. We need to have a, conversation on why marriages aren't happening anymore. And it has a lot to do with what we're talking about right now.
that's a
Because these
fact.
prerequisites are just like overwhelming for people at this point, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I framed the question in the way that I did.
That's why I said that was a good question, really and truly.
Yeah, yeah. So as far as smarts, education versus intelligence, you want a woman that's degreed up or she hustled up? Like, what's the preference? What would you prefer?
I prefer the woman who knows a lot of things or who knows a lot about various things. And I'll say that because in this day and time, unfortunately, and it's gonna come off dismissive, but I'm not trying to be. But in this day and time, because men are always having it thrown in their faces at, especially black men, that women are more educated than us, they're more educated than
You
us. It's always thrown in our faces, right? It's the attitude that comes with it.
yeah.
It's the
You
attitude
damn
that
it,
comes with
Nari.
it.
We
I
be doing this to each
don't,
other all the time.
we do.
Damn it.
It's that doesn't work for me. Like I don't honestly, whether you have the degrees or whether you don't, it don't do nothing to or against me.
Don't move me.
Now, for my wife, her specific degrees help because she has a degree in childhood behavioral sciences. So that's helping me understand how to raise my kids,
Right.
So that's cool. You know what I'm saying? If your degree
Yeah.
actually plays into our lives, then that's super cool.
And great. Exactly. Like me being a project manager,
And you can help us actually stay healthier. Great. If you are a person who's, like I said, if the degree you went for this career helps you keep our home maintained, helps our life be better and improves our life, great. Aces. But we all know that the majority of people who go to school and get these degrees, the majority of them don't even work
do
in the
shit
they have
with them.
For it. And the knowledge that they have can't be applied in everyday life. So no, give me the person who knows things that we can apply. Give me the person who knows things that could broaden my horizons and help me be a better person.
Right.
Give me her.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was saying.
Both would be ideal. But again, it's like, I don't need degrees for the sake of degrees. And I don't need degrees because I don't have mine. You think you're better. You think I'm unambitious. You think I'm lazy. And you think you're better than me because you have your master's and I don't have my associates. Nah,
take it
cool.
Take it easy. Don't go hard on them, bro.
Nah, I don't need it.
You beat me to the question. I was going to ask you, is it because you feel like women that are overly educated have a little bit of a je ne sais quoi, a little bit of a
it is
on their horse,
it is and unfortunately it's thrown out there like men are insecure about it. I'm not insecure about none of that paper is. It don't mean you better than me. I already know that. It don't mean you smarter than me.
Sometimes men do be feeling away. Like I've definitely gotten because you're smarter than me. I'll say what makes me smarter than you because you have degrees. That don't mean shit.
I'm about to say now, some people truly do believe that degrees equal intelligence, and that's
I keep telling people the fuck it don't. Yeah. It absolutely don't. But
that's
again,
why, like I said, the degrees don't do nothing to me. I'm not offended that you have them because it's not changing any dynamic that we had.
Yeah.
If I think you're smart, it's because I think you're smart. You could do good in school, and I think you a dummy. I have a friend that's like that. I tell her all the time.
I just tell you,
like what you say, smart dummies, right?
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? She'll kick ass in school, but in life she makes some of the dumbest decisions.
And them people be the worst.
And shit be going over her head. I'm having to school her.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that. So speaking of goofy, okay. So you want the funny chick to get along with everybody and she can work the room and everybody likes her, or you want the introvert chick that niggas don't even want to look in her direction because she got the resting bitch face, as you like to call it.
So I have the introvert. I definitely have a supreme introvert, but it's kind of like this. And
I feel like she's an ambivert. But
the ambivert.
Basically, because that's what I am. I can be just as outgoing on any given Sunday. It just really depends on the situation, the circumstances.
Nah, that's not her.
And then sometimes I'm like, I'm good. I'm not going nowhere. I'm in this house. Like I'm put up. Like leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered.
9 times out of 10, she's in. 9 times out of 10, she's in. If it's not about her
family, but no,
that's literally it. It's just them. She
not even her sorority sisters.
I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She's seen them.
Okay.
Time goes by and as years go by, every now and then they might link together for lunch, but even then, it's just them two. It's just this friend or that friend. Maybe if somebody's having something, then it's just the 5 of them, if that many attend.
I mean, typically introverts don't go out at all because their energy gets drained.
That's her. She's the first to check out. She's the first to check out if she does. You know what I'm saying?
Hilarious.
It was okay. Nari, come get me.
Come get me. Pick me up. Come scoop me, please.
My social, as she said, my social battery
is dying. Yes. That's me. I'll be like, all right, I had enough of this shit. I signed up for this. This is about all I got in me. But then some nights I'm like, never going home. I love it here. Then some nights
I'm probably more like the ambivert when you describe it like that. I'm not going any and everywhere, but when I go, I go,
I'm outside. I'm outside. Yeah. It's sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. And I'll be like, I have no intentions of being there. And if
yeah,
it,
nigga.
oh nigga, and if you ask me, hey, we're doing so and so on so and so date. You interested? I'll see. I'll see what I can do. I'll let you know. I'll get back to you. Nigga, that's 9 times out of 10 to no.
Mhm.
Sorry, sorry. And don't hit me with the what you doing on Saturday? Because my answer gonna be, wow, what's up? Don't think you're gonna trick me into coming out, nigga. It's not happening. So yeah, so yeah, so yeah.
Going out, that's hilarious.
All right, well, I think I covered all of the questions in reverse. To
Tricked into going
you,
out.
I think I did. I think I covered all the questions. Did I miss
I
anything?
think
I think I did good.
if you do sense of humor, did we do that?
Yeah, that's why I said, do you want the funny chick
Yeah.
that's outgoing, work the room, or you want the chick that don't nobody talk to, stay in the house, she don't like to be bothered, she don't got a sense of humor, dry.
So I guess I didn't really answer it either way because I just said who I had. But
True.
but I think when it came to the funny girl that worked the room, like getting along with that girl is a lot easier off rip. Because I know I could take her anywhere. Like I know I
Right,
could take her anywhere I'm going, and I ain't got to worry about her. She gonna be good because she could get in where she fit in.
right,
Um,
right.
so I will say
But
having an
sometimes guys
introvert.
find that problematic. They don't like females like that because they like,
Yeah,
oh, you
yeah,
too friendly. You a friendly female. Like, nah, you
yeah.
talk to everybody. Like, so that's why I asked it in that way because
Now let me
women don't
qualify.
be funny per se. Women don't be funny. Like I
No,
said, I
I
don't think I'm funny, but people think I'm a joker, right? But some men be like, oh, you too friendly. Like that's the you either want the female that's friendly and get along with everybody, or you want the female that ain't nobody even looking in her direction because she don't look like she fitting to be fucked with. Like so, some dudes be wanting the female that don't nobody want to fuck with because they ain't got to worry about
for yourself.
fending
Yeah,
off, yeah, or her being too friendly and it being something else to it. So that's why I framed the question that way. Cause like women want a funny nigga, you know what I'm saying? They want a dude that's funny or a dude that can interact.
I would say they
But
want a
men is
funny nigga.
either, there you go. So, and with men is either you want a friendly female or not so friendly female.
I'm about
Sense
to
of
say,
humor really don't got much of shit to do with it. She can be funny, but she can't be
uh,
too friendly.
okay, I'm about to say, cause see, I need a girl with a sense of humor because I have a sense of humor. So if she don't have a sense of humor, we're not gonna get along. I play, I joke, I want to be able to make whatever funny comments I make. Now, not everything
Right.
is gonna land, of course, but I don't want it to be like, every time I say something, you getting offended. Every time I say something, you getting
Yeah.
upset, or you never really
Yeah.
laugh.
That's bogus.
You
I
too
ain't got no time for
serious.
that.
I don't need that. But
Yeah, ain't nobody got
the super friendly John, I'm not insecure about. It's just that it's inconvenient. You know what I'm saying?
it
It's
is.
inconvenient because some of you niggas just don't know how to act around that girl. You feel me?
Like
And
no
it's like
bullshit.
even with her boundaries, even if she's setting boundaries, y'all just be doing too much, man. I
Yep.
tell some of y'all dudes, y'all just be doing too much. Like peep the games, read the room. See, she's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like
She ain't
she's
with the
friendly,
shits.
she's social, but she's not a whore, dog. Like, ease
Yeah.
up. Ease up. And if you shoot your shot because she's friendly, I ain't mad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
She
Because
gotta block that shit though.
that's appealing. But after she block it, you sit there trying to, stuff the ball in a lid on top of the rim. You annoying now, nigga.
Yeah.
You doing too much. You're
You
doing too
doing
much.
too much.
Too
So
much.
yeah. So yeah,
So yeah,
I think I asked all of the
you did
questions.
cover everything. You covered everything. So this was interesting. This was definitely informative as well. And I
Yes.
think that everybody should think about their prerequisites and what makes a person good enough to be in a relationship with. I know it sounds like it's, framed cruelly
Yeah.
or, mean, but honestly, everybody deserves, everybody who's decent deserves what's good enough for them. Now, what's good enough
Yes.
should be based on, things that actually matter. It shouldn't just be materialistic. But guess what? With some people, it's going to be that. And there's some people who cool being with materialistic people. So y'all work it out at the end of the day. Now, should you put
Listen.
down other people because they don't fit it? No.
No.
You
Yeah.
shouldn't put
That's
down other people
correct.
because they don't fit what's good enough for you to be in a relationship with. But don't be with somebody who you don't feel is good enough to be in a relationship with. Don't waste their time. Don't waste your
But
time
baby,
because you fucking it up. You
yeah,
gonna make that person resentful for no reason.
yeah. And I think the reason why prerequisites are important and they differ from standards and expectations
And they
because
can
standards and
evolve.
expectations, right, are things you expect people to do and deliver and perform and such. Your prerequisites is what a person's personality is like. And my thing is, a person can only love you properly if they know what it is, how it is, when it is, why it is. You need to be loved the way you want, or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes, listen, at the tender age of 42, the way that I thought I wanted to be loved back then, it's completely different from how I want to be loved now. I find myself all the time to just please be gentle with me. Please be more caring. Please be more kind. Before I listen, we can cuss and scream at each other now. Please don't raise your voice at me. Like, don't do that. I don't like that. I don't want to be arguing. I don't got time to do the back and forth. Before I can go back and forth with somebody all day long. So it will change over time, but
Okay.
you knowing what you really need up front from a person and what you like and love in people, what really draws you into them. And it doesn't have to be anyone specific, it's just people, period. Because
Right.
if you look at the folks in your life, there is some connection or linkage to why you're allowing these people to be a part of your life. So you need to
True.
figure out what it is that really soothes your soul, because that's who's got to love you long time. And if they not loving you the way you need to be because you didn't tell them what you wanted as far as what love look like, yeah, you're gonna be short. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be miserable. So set them
Yeah.
prereqs. You know, we hated them in college, but they there for a reason.
Right.
It teach you what you need to keep going
To get,
further.
that's a
Yeah.
fact.
So if you don't set the prereqs, then you trying to skip shit, you're gonna be mad because you're gonna have to backpedal and double back and do over and rework. Don't nobody got time for that. Just so let a nigga know up front. Look,
Yep.
baby, if you ain't got a degree, if you ain't got a good job, if your body ain't built like, and it's okay. If that's what you want, that's what you like. You just
Yeah.
need to be clear about
What
that.
we say in the
Just
other episode, leave with what you need.
there you go. There you go. So
Leave with
that's
what
my
you need.
tidbit on that.
Well said. Well said. So we're gonna close it out on that note. I ain't even gotta say it. I can't say it better. On behalf of me, the goddess, on behalf of our brother A.C.E, and on behalf of your favorite coach's favorite coach, as I always say, be smart, be kind, be patient. That includes with yourself. Be safe and
Yes,
stay
please.
dangerous. Be respectful. Please be
Lord.
respectful. Okay.
Take you far.
Something else I'm gonna throw in. Be empathetic. Okay. Try.
Ooh,
Try.
and sympathetic, because there's a difference
Sympathetic.
between empathy and sympathy, and we need to have
Fact.
both.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Be empathetic and sympathetic. Be good to as many people as you possibly can. I know people will make it impossible. Forget it. That's just chalk. But everybody else, please be good to them. But most importantly, be good to yourselves. All right.
Yes.
We love y'all. We hope y'all stay cool till the next time we see y'all. This has been fun for us, and we hope it's been just as fun for y'all. We appreciate you guys, whether it's 5 minutes, 35 minutes, 55 minutes. Thank you for stopping by. This is the
Yes.
Life Be Life and podcast, and we are out of here.